I'm Muka Allan, director of Maboneng, Whiskey and Wings. So yeah, and this is my wife.
My name is Gloria Michelle Otieno Muka. I'm Allan Muka's wife and also the founder and CEO of Riku for Kenya Consultants Limited. We've been married for 3 years now.
The first time I met Gloria, it was funny enough, whether it was through social media. I was on Twitter mainly, and I was just snooping around, and then she happened to have this nice profile picture. And so I had reservations of whether to approach her or not. So as I did, I just took the leap of faith and I slid in her DM. Then, funny enough, she responded. We were talking over DM, then eventually exchanged numbers. And then finally we set up a date whereby now we met physically.
It wasn't that easy. Don't act like you just slid in the DM and then that was it. It took a while. Okay. It took a while of conversation. Let's say about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
It took a while of conversation. Okay. And then we had our first date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first date we had, because my background is hospitality, all right, so I just knew quite a few places where I could take her for lunch. So I remember I had a friend who I knew in one of a very good restaurant. So at that time I was like, okay, fine, you know, I have this lady I'm interested in and I would really love to bring her over for lunch. So can you do something nice for us? And yeah, it was a simple lunch plan, and that's where we went and talked and got to know more about each other.
We basically got to know each other, who he was, because he forgot to mention this when he approached me on Twitter. His location actually said Purbright, United Kingdom. So I thought this guy is from the UK. This is why I'm talking to this guy, because I'm thinking he's from the UK and he's not from Kenya. So I'm like, okay, this is, what do they call them? Samabanis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm talking to him, I'm realizing, hey, is this good? I'm finding out this guy is actually not from the UK, he works here in Kenya. So anyway, you probably need to tell us why you decided to put UK in your Twitter. Because I'm still not convinced why I'm still, anyway.
It was just to highlight the profile, you know, like, as you said, I was just throwing my hook there and eventually it caught a fish, which happens to be you. So I can't speak much about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I thought he was a very nice guy. When I first met him, he was calm, confident, sure of himself, which are actually qualities that I used to look for in a guy. He was nice, he knew how to treat a lady, a woman, and it wasn't difficult to talk to him. Like, we could bond and we could talk about anything for hours. And yeah, it wasn't hectic, basically, talking to him. I could be myself, you know, not those dates where you have to go and you're just someone else. For this particular date, I could be myself and we just bonded. It flowed.
Yeah, my first impression was because you used to study in South Africa, right? So I thought she was like this bougie chick, you know, like she's done all her education in South Africa, she's flown in back in. So I had reservations at first. I wasn't quite sure on how to approach it. But then with me, I'm usually not like, I don't really fake things. So I usually just be who I am, like I'm straightforward on who I am. And I think that when I saw how she received me with that, so I was more comfortable in opening and actually just being myself. I didn't need to be somebody totally different. So I think that was another plus where she accepted me for who I was from the word go. So I knew at that point, yeah, she's the one. From the first day, I don't think it just happened because, as I said, everything just flowed. It wasn't like we had a plan already on how things were going to happen. Basically, we just went with the wave. So we just flowed, and eventually we just found us seeing each other more often, being around each other more often. And suddenly we just happened to be like, okay, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's move in. And I just gave her the key, and I was like, okay, you know what? Here, come on. Why don't you come over and stay over? And yeah, we just continued from there. Well, what's your take on that? Was I too fast?
No, you jumped something. You forgot. After our first date, actually, our next date, yeah, he came to my house. I was having a party. A small party. I think it was my birthday or something. So he actually came and brought groceries. Who does that, right? This guy came in with groceries. He also brought, he was considerate. He brought some wine, he brought some whiskey, he brought some juice, and then he had groceries as well, like rice.
Oh, I don't know what I was thinking.
Ugali. So I'm like receiving him at the door. My guests are sitting in the living room, and this guy is walking in with groceries. So I was like, okay. So I found that impressive because I've dated guys before, and yeah, they'll come, they'll bring themselves, and they want to be fed, and they want alcohol, and they want everything. But this is someone who was considerate already, and yeah, it was easy. It was just natural, I guess, for him. It was natural.
Yeah, it was. I was brought up well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
The dating journey, it was quite fun.
We had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun together.
Yeah. We were both young at the time. This was because we started dating in 2012.
Yeah, 2012, yeah.
Yeah, we were both young at the time, and we were both experiencing life, basically. So even when we got together, it wasn't those ones of, oh, we are getting married. We didn't know that we would get married. For us, it was just, we are dating, we're having fun, we're going out, we are meeting each other's friends. We were basically getting to know each other until it got to a point where we were like, okay, so where is this going, you know?
She was more exposed with traveling more than I am, so with my previous dating, it always to be just going out, drinking, and just the normal charade going around. But with that, you know, she brought this other different side of dating, whereby it used to be like, okay, fine, why don't we try destination dating? You know, like, why not try going to Nakuru? Let's go Naivasha, let's go. So it was more like out of town plans. So that opened up my mind, and I got to like now to discover different areas, and it really took me, you know, like on a different aspect in life. Okay, fine, you know, dating is just not about doing what everybody does, you know, it's just about drinking, going out, and typical lunch and dinner plans. It's usually like, why don't you go and explore, you know, the world, or rather Kenya, together. And yeah, that's what got me so interesting about our dating scene.
I feel that the authenticity of relationships back then as compared to now is definitely different. Right now there's a lot of judgment and there's a lot of expectations. Young ladies now are looking for a complete man, which is ridiculous, to be honest, because even the Bible says, right, the woman is the rib of the man, meaning the woman is the one who's supposed to complete the man. So if you're a woman who finds a complete man, what does that already say about the man? He has another woman somewhere. So you need to, as a woman, find the time to get to know a man, date the man, and then worry about financial things later. And that's why you find there's a lot of failed relationships, a lot of relationships where people are killing each other, sadly, because they're getting into them for the wrong reasons, and then they're not putting God into their relationships. When you leave God out of your relationship, automatically you've invited Satan to your relationship, I'm sorry to say. And this is the challenge that we're having with youth today in terms of marriage, in terms of love. We are not loving each other enough.
Just to touch on that, you know, like even Sauti Sol have this line in one of their songs, like, lilia kwa Range Rover ama utachekea kwa bodaboda. So with that aspect is because the thing is, all right, you'll find, yeah, chicks are rushing into, you know, like statusship more than who the person is really. And at the end of it all, like, it's a really, really sad life they can, you know, they kind of like get into themselves with. So my take is to the ladies is, don't go for a complete man. Don't go for somebody who's already has it. Okay, he can have it figured out on the vision on how you guys want to be in future or together. But don't go to somebody just because they have everything. Because let me tell you this, you get into that relationship, you know, he has every right to treat you the way he wants to treat you. Because what did you input into what he was, you know, like hustling for? You haven't done anything. So for him, it would be much easier just to get on with another chick. When you try to come and bring your grievances, he'll look at you like, okay, what have you helped me in life? You are not there when I was broke. You came when I had everything. So what are you complaining about? You know, you came when everything is there. So why are you complaining suddenly? Like, you have the house, you have the car. What more do you need? You know. So don't rush into these relationships because, okay, fine, I need a perfect man. There's no such thing as a perfect man. Get into a relationship because you actually understand and, you know, you value this person's vision and what they are like looking to doing in life, so that you guys can bring your ideas together and build up. And, you know, like somewhere during the line, if God helpful, you guys can be something bigger. Yeah, make your own money. Just be like, when you're sitting down, be patient. When you're taking stories for your grandkids, you know, like, yeah, unajua pale nilimtoa huyu alikuwa na kaa hivi, you know, have such stories, you know, whereby you can both, like, you know, like contribute to the story, not now you just saying, oh, huyu alinipata niko nayo, ama me saying huyu alinipata niko nayo, and then no, you have to make guys want, you know, like look up to you, you know, such that, okay, fine, he came from here, she came from here, they put their grind together, and this is where they are now.
So, we're dating, we've moved in together. Now, I'm thinking, okay, I can't just stay in this house, I need to get married. Because I have, morals, principles, and all of that. So, I know you'll wonder, why did you move in before you got married first? But anyway, he proposed. I used to hint, by the way. Any small thing I'd hint, like we are shopping maybe in a mall, I'd go look at a jewelry store and I'll be like, hey, that ring looks nice. I bet it would look nice on my finger too. And then I'd look at his reaction, like how is he reacting? Is he looking scared? Nini. So I'd keep hinting. If you're watching a movie and then I'm seeing a proposal happening and I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. I wonder if someone would ever propose like that. Anyway, so I kept on hinting for a while, and then eventually he started picking the hints. Boy child, aliamka kidogo. He got clever a bit, and he planned the whole proposal, but it wasn't a big proposal. Now remember, that time I'm building my business. Money is low. At the same time, he lost his job. So that time things were thick. We had no money. We were basically living from hand to mouth. Hand to mouth. Yeah. And I'm here still hinting proposals in malls. Like, I never gave up. The dream was real. So we're walking around malls still, and I'm still hinting, I need to get a proposal, etc. You figure it out, I don't know. So one day I woke up. So funny story, I was showering. I took a shower. I came out of the shower. This guy is kneeling at the door of the bathroom. I'm like, dude, no, my proposal is not happening like this. No. But I was so happy at the same time because, like, he's finally doing it. I was like, how did you even manage to afford a ring? I don't know. But he's finally here, he's finally proposing, and that's all, that meant the world to me. Yeah, it wasn't a fancy restaurant where after that we had a bash and sijui. people were told. For me, it was, he was outside the bathroom door, he knelt, he proposed. It was a good ring. He spent a lot on the ring.
Even, let me tell you guys, like, there's this time when she was sleeping, because you need to get the measurement of the finger, right? So the jeweler asked me, do you know the size of the finger? And I actually know at that time, like, okay, fine, you need to actually know the size of the ring. So this time she slept and she was in a really deep sleep. So what I did, I went, took an Uzi and just slightly pulled her hand away. And then I just tied the Uzi. And then I made sure, okay, fine, this is what. So whenever she moved, then I'll pause. Like, ho, 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 ho. Then she relaxed. So I'll pull, made sure it wasn't too tight, it wasn't too loose. Then I just removed, and that's the measurement I went with to the jeweler. I was like, this is what you have to make do with this. I don't care, make the rings, make sure it's perfect. And funny enough, when I proposed, then she took the ring and she put it, it just fit perfectly. So I think that was a really funny moment when I had to sneak when you're sleeping to try and figure out what your finger measurement was. Yeah.
So we had our wedding on 9th July 2017 at the Karen Country Lodge. We only had about 150 to 200 guests. We wanted an intimate wedding because he has a small family, and so do I. Plus, we didn't want too many extras at the wedding. We wanted it intimate. We wanted people that actually know us to be present for the wedding.
So the morning of the wedding, wow, I was really nervous, I'm not a guy who gets nervous easily, right? Unless I'm in really bad situations. But this one, it was the right situation, but I was still really nervous. All in all, you know, like, I think I was the first person in my generation to do it. And I didn't really have guidance, like, from my family members on how to go about it. So I had to, like, you know, get advice from friends, you know, like, just to those who are married, to tell me, like, okay, fine, you know, calm me down, tell me, okay, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be that. Because mind you, like, we are all our own wedding planners, so there are still nitty-gritty things that we are making calls in the morning to find out, okay, fine, do we have the right stuff? Are the cars enough? Is she okay on her side? When she arrived, I just wept down. I didn't show it. It just came out. I didn't. I just found just something coming down. I was like, am I sweating now? Suddenly on my eyes or something. But yeah, long story short, yeah, she came over. We had a beautiful garden wedding. The dress fitted her perfectly, given that it was custom made, you know, for her and her only. And like the color scheme, you know, I was getting these ideas from the mom-in-law. She was like sneaking the fitting period or how it looks like. And then when I got to saw it, I was like, wow, these guys have done really a good job. Then yeah, finally, my family members, those who mattered most, who wanted them to be there, they were there. And everything went perfectly. I don't think we had any hiccup or anything afterwards. Everything just flowed nicely. Yeah, we went for the photo shoot, we came back, reception, guys were fed, the food was enough. One thing I'll tell you when getting married is, make sure you eat properly during the day, or rather before you go to the ceremony, because you won't eat. As much as they say you're the bride and groom, you will not eat that day.
Definitely after marriage, life changes. You know, when before marriage you get into an argument, you can say, me, I'm out. In marriage, it's different. You have to sit down, you have to talk about your issues, you have to find ways of resolving your issues, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be in that house, you know. And being in marriage means you need to stay in marriage. You need to find ways of remaining in that marriage, you know, in the most amicable way and in the most respectable way. So yeah, I'd say marriage is challenging. It's not easy as people say, but I'd say it's worth it. It's definitely worth it because you have a companion, you have someone for life, you have a best friend, you have someone there to support you. And when I'm saying all this, I'm assuming that you have the right person, you know. And then, yeah, just marriage is about making it work, taking each day at a time, making it work, right?
Yeah. Because in essence, you know, you usually tend to see people change a lot when they get married. And for instance, you know, like you could be so reserved life, you could be that guy who always thinks about himself, or that chick who always thinks of himself. But then when you get married, you know, the decisions you make in life usually don't make it drastic, because at the end of it all, you have to think the action I'm gonna take next, how is it gonna affect my partner, you know? So it's no longer you thinking about yourself. You usually have to broaden, you know, your thinking. Okay, fine, this decision I'm making, is it beneficial for both of us, or is it just beneficial for me? When I got married, next I usually hear guys tell me, yeah, you've changed. But then I wasn't realizing myself, like, okay, fine, I've changed. You know, I was like, oh, what do you mean I've changed? Like, yeah, you know, we used to ask you for this. At that time, you used to be so reserved. You'd be like, yeah. But now, you know, if you can't really do it, you kind of tell us, okay, fine, I can't do it at the moment. Maybe let me look into it. And, you know, you kind of like give us a guideline on your answer. You don't just decide, okay, I can't do it.
You basically become more responsible. Yeah, because you're now not thinking for one person, you're thinking for 2 other people or 3 other people in your home. So you just become more responsible as opposed to when you're a single person, you know. And yeah. We've been blessed with a very beautiful daughter. Her name is Malia Behati Naliaka Muka.
Muka.
So Malia is basically, I would say she's confident, she's outgoing. These are all, yeah, her dad. Me too, come on. Anyway, she's confident, outgoing.
Like
yeah.
yeah. Like you.
She's Mkali like me. Yeah. Anyway, Malia was born on 31st October 2017. Her name Behati actually means blessed, she who is blessed. And that's why that name came to us. Yeah. I would say she's God-given because we prayed for her before we actually had her. And I think God answered our prayers and gave us more than what we even asked for.
She's always mysterious in whatever she's doing and what she wants to do and all that stuff. And then we are realizing already right now at the age of like 1.5 years, she already tries to do stuff her own way. She's trying to be independent, you know, whereby she doesn't want to be fed. She wants to wear clothes her own way. She wants to wear shoes her own way.
She wants to wash herself.
She wants to wash herself. She wants to lotion herself. So then we have realized these things she just sees us doing, and then she mimics it. And eventually she wants to do it, but then you are telling her, you're still young, you can't do it. But then when you're trying to do it for her, she brings a fight. So we just learn to just let her do her things the own way, as long as we just supervise and see she's doing it correctly.
Yeah. But I'd say life has definitely changed because life, it has transitioned, you know, from dating where you're just thinking about yourself to marriage where we're thinking about each other, now into having a child, and now we're thinking about this child. So right now our priority is also to have time with each other, because when you have a child, that goes out the window, you know. You're in the house, you're constantly thinking about the child. What has the child eaten? Has she slept? Has she done this? So sometimes you can even forget each other, you know. So we try and prioritize a certain day in the week where we say, okay, let's go here, let's have lunch, let's talk about us, what is happening. Because even if you have a child, you're still individuals, you're still different people at the same time. So it's always good to check in, you know, check in with your husband, how is he doing, what's happening. And yeah, Even when I was having her, my mom actually told me, hey, now you're going to have 2 children in the home, your husband and your child. So you really need to know how to prioritize each person and treat them the way they need to be treated. That is so important. Yeah.
Good one. Mercy.
Good. Allan, I thank God for you. You've shown me that there's so much more to life. You've instilled a lot of values in me. I learned that I can be patient. When I met you, you know me, I wasn't patient. I was always out there trying to figure things out, and I want results immediately. You're the person who taught me patience. You're the person who taught me calmness. You're my voice of reason, sanity. You know me, how I go crazy sometimes when things don't work out, and I'm like, why is this happening to us? You know what I mean? But you've always been a voice of sanity. You've always been the person who's positive and always told me that this is going to work out, believe it. You're our prayer master, prayer warrior. You pray for us every day, and I thank God so much for that, because sometimes I even forget to pray. And you always tell me, don't worry, you're covered. I got this. I already prayed for us this morning. And you're lovable. You're a great father. Behati loves you so much, and you always take care of her. Like, you're there. You know what I mean? You're a present father. You're a present husband. You're a present in-law. My parents love you. My brothers love you. My family basically knows you for who you are. You're genuine. Your heart is pure. And I thank God basically for you and the blessing that you've bestowed upon your family.
Gloria Michelle, I'm thankful that you're part of my life. Thank you for always showing me, direct me to the right path. I've done my mistakes, I've never been the perfect guy, I've never been the perfect husband, but it's usually through by you that usually I can confide and you can tell me okay, fine, we're going through this, we're going through that. Usually find reason on, whatever mistake I do or whatever venture I'm trying, to endeavor in. you know, and I'm thankful for you so much. Thank you for being a good mother. You know, thank you for giving us a lovely daughter who resembles you, and hopefully she grows up to be who you are. You know, like in generations and going on. So I'd just like to say I love you, and I'm grateful, and I think I can't ever say I made the worst decision ever, because from the day I saw you, I knew, like, yeah, you're the one I wanted to be with, and here we are.
You're the one my soul loves.
Oh!